watching iRacing on the Ghostfire Media Network.
Everyone, and welcome to Lanier National Speedway for the North-South Racing League Street Stock Series, brought to you by Cross Auto Body. For Ghostfire Media, I'm Josh Laston, and with me tonight, as is the Monday tradition, Mr. Adam Wood. How are you, Adam?
I'm doing fantastic. Looking forward to a wonderful short track racing here at Lanier National Speedway. It's going to be exciting. We're watching these guys out here tonight duke it out. The track out here is just 0.32 of a mile. It's 80 degrees outside. Looks like 83 on the track. It's going to be a great track tonight for these guys to be racing on. We got Kel Hurtis out there. He said, let's go racing. It's a great track.
I will not argue. I would say that the street stocks are the biggest car that I would ever want to run around here. Unfortunately, in iRacing officials, I've run the ARCA car here, which was pure chaos. I may have won the race, but it was chaos and the most, I would say, annoying race that I've ever had. But at the same time, it's such a great race because it's so short. The turns are banked where it's still going to be fast. And the number of guys we have tonight, I'm expecting a lot of very close racing.
Yeah, we're up to about 26, 27 entries for tonight. Last night they had their practice for this track, and then wonderful Dante Curtis, he was out there topping the leaderboards with a 14.550. But tonight, right now, Matt Dula is out there with a 14.503, and Dante Curtis is right there 1,000ths of a second back with the 14.504. So those are two to watch tonight.
Well, we've said that about Dante once already, and the inversion of the top of the field got him last week, so we'll see if he's able to bounce his way back, even though still got to chat with him third, but he has yet to get that win. And this, we're looking at lap times sub 15 seconds, and well, we're also seeing one of the things that Lanier is going to really cause tonight is people getting happy on that throttle as they're going through the turns, wanting to get the best run out. It's going to be a little difficult to keep that back end from sliding its way around and going full drift mode through some of these turns.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Watch these guys trying to do 2, maybe 3 wide through here. It's going to be kind of crazy.
But it's going to be fantastic. I wish I had Randy, who is always great for our random track trivia. I just know that this track, if I remember correctly, is directly across from Atlanta Motor Speedway.
I am not 100% sure exactly where this place is at. What? Yeah, it's but I know it's you could be right, because I mean it's down in Bralston, Georgia, man. Bralston, Georgia. So
I am almost positive that is what this is, to where a lot of people. Oh, it's Road Atlanta.
Road Atlanta.
It was Atlanta.
It was one of the Atlantas. There you go. We got Dante Curtis out there. He says.
I was gonna say. I figured I was gonna get corrected there by the man that is out there touting the track, and I knew it was in Georgia. I knew it was one of them, but it's not my favorite lead. I would say that Lanier is my number 3 of the Atlanta tracks.
Yeah.
Somehow ends up a little bit above it.
I want to see these guys take the street stocks out here to Road Atlanta. See these wonderful, heavily bodied cars that are going to like tout on a wonderful road course like Road Atlanta.
We have done I've done road courses in the street stocks. It's actually a surprisingly fun car in all aspects. It is easily my favorite of the stock cars to drive in the iRacing service. So we'll go ahead, and it is officially time for qualifying, and this is going to be a direct qualifying for the feature race, because we do not have enough to justify running the heat, and I guess I should pull it off of exciting, since we have people out trying to set their fast lap to get themselves up towards the front of the section, or the feature race tonight. And right now, Mr. Matt Dula sets his fast lap and puts himself at the top. And that's all he was gonna run, is that first lap, and we're starting to just see these laps tick in, while the ticker doesn't want to start throwing any times up yet, because they are coming in so quickly that it's hard to keep up. So we'll just keep trying to find people out on track. Matt Cook is out on his first hot lap and crosses the line, setting a 14.72 to have him in 7th, which is going to have him up towards the front. And I cannot tell you, I don't remember exactly how many spots we are going to be inverting tonight.
14.
14. We are going
14.
max.
Yeah, so they're going to have a wonderful 14 inverted drivers. These guys are going to be out there.
So that is going to definitely make things interesting, because whoever is on pole, and that's looking like Matt Dula, he's going to be rotated all the way back to 14th and have quite a bit of work on his hands to get himself back up. As now I'm just struggling to find people out on track, and here is Bryan Hacker making his way around to start, getting the first lap in, hugging that low line, getting a little bit loose coming out of turn 4, but that's perfectly fine, and that is going to be the fastest lap so far, and that's going to put him on pole, but ultimately back in 14th, and he's going hard trying to get himself up a little bit faster, but I think that lap's going to be untouchable. So let's take a look. This is Jerry Lyon on his out lap, about to start his first time lap, get himself out there. He's running no less than 65 miles an hour and getting himself all the way up to 90 on these very short straights. And his first time lap is going to get him, ooh, that is a little bit on the painful side. That has him second to the last, and with Dante Curtis getting his lap in, actually going to push him down. Jordan Madron is out there on track trying to move himself up a little bit higher than 11th. And will he be able to do it as he crosses the line? No, he is not able to improve on his time. And we've only got about 30 seconds left at this point. Now the ticker is deciding to go ahead and get itself updated and show us where everyone sits.
Yeah. We have, so many drivers out there, but they're only out there for a handful of seconds. So it's kind of hard to see who's out there. But these guys are putting a lot of work here tonight. Hopefully we'll see some really good action. It's a small track. Let's see if they're going to go ahead and skip this wonderful heat setup here.
Well, I would assume it would, because essentially iRacing looks to see if there is more than the maximum amount into the final. So unfortunately we don't get the sprint tonight, and I'll be honest, that makes me a little bit sad, because I have grown to appreciate the little bit of chaos that comes along with that. Or is it going to give it to us anyway for one person?
They're going to advance the session. So we'll wait for what's going to happen here. I think I just heard one of the admins say that they are going to advance the session for looks like Dan.
Janin. So yes, I mean, we could sit here and watch him run around for 15 laps. It would be good practice, but it would be significantly shorter to just go ahead and just toss up the 5-minute warm-up that we have before the final session and just go ahead and move things along. And I just got a note from race control that they are working on advancing the session.
So, what's out there? We got quite a few viewers out there. We got Kel Curtis out there talking with us. If you're out there listening to us, let us know, who are you rooting for tonight here at Lanier? Let us know who's your favorite driver and who do you think is going to win.
And I mean, I'm obviously off the table because I can't win when I'm in the booth. Not that I would win anyway, as Adam's well aware. And Cale Curtis is out here for Dante in the 03. And apparently the only person that's wanting to be a little chatty tonight, and I'm fine with that. That just means he gets to hear all of our terrible jokes throughout the course of the evening. And not 100% sure what's going on here.
I think they're still trying to figure this out, advancing the session. So we got Devon Rogers. I think that one of the drivers out there.
Devon was suspended apparently for 2 weeks, but he'll be back for the dirt race, which, I'll admit, another one that I'm really looking forward to.
I can never get the hang of these cars on the dirt. I've tried my best, and but I couldn't. I did my best to get out of the street stocks and dirt as fast as I can to move up to the sprint cars.
I still haven't run any of those because, yeah, I'm not good on dirt. I'm not good on dirt road. I'm not good on dirt oval. You would think I would be, because I do have that aggressive race style of sending the back around and using that to steer the car, but no, I'm terrible on dirt.
Ooh.
But I have thought about trying to get into the sprint cars. It just, like you said, you have to get through the dirt street stocks, and yeah, I'm just not capable of that, apparently.
Yeah, it's a different world. I don't find, maybe if I go back and try to figure it out later on, maybe I can get it. But no, I couldn't really understand them at that point in time in life. So I was happy to go ahead and just hang in the back, get my safety rating up as enough as I could, and hit that 4.0 and get automatically moved into the next level.
I mean, I did that, unfortunately, with the Mazda Miatas, and it did not end well because I tried to advance too quickly to run the Skippies, the Skip Barber 2000, and I did not learn iRacing well enough to be able to compete in those, and despite absolutely having a deep love for those cars.
One of the drivers just posted in the chat saying there's a rain delay right now, so that's probably what we're doing right now. So, we got Robbie. Robbie just one of the admins just left. Trying to listen.
Apparently, it just doesn't like us today.
All right, so listen. We're gonna redo this, folks. We're gonna set up a whole new session, so it's gonna be a little bit. So what happened was Dan jumped into the session before he was supposed to. Before they could actually forward the session to the actual warm up. And since he did that, once they tried to skip it, it kind of messed everything up. So they are unable to do anything. So they're going to try to set it up. Robbie's going to load up a new session, and we're going to hop into that.
All right. In that situation, we'll just sit here and watch the base truck go around in circles, and
I'll let you know whenever the new session's up, so then you can back out and put us on a little of a pause window, kind of build us back up until we get everything fired back up and running.
all right, since it seems like we have all the drivers out there, I'm looking for opinions. What is everyone's favorite vehicle to be running in iRacing? Because I know there's a lot of varied opinions, and Adam, out of all of the 100 cars that we have available to us, what is your favorite?
So far, I'm liking, for Cup asks, I more gravitate towards the trucks whenever it comes to the oval roads. When it comes to dirt road, dirt tracks, I'm gonna go. I think the dirt sprint cars are my favorite, but the big blocks, they drive very similar, but they're bigger and heavier, take a little bit more maneuverability. So they're right there, a close second. When it comes in the dirt world, road world, I haven't really messed with too much. You know, I've dabbled a little bit. But I'll go with the LMPs, but I haven't really done like too much on iRacing with it. What about you, Josh?
Hands down, my favorite for the ovals are the modified tours. There's just something about those vehicles. They're just an absolute blast. They're blisteringly fast. And I know this is going to be, as we've learned from other leagues, a very unpopular opinion. But if I had to actually say, my favorite road vehicle is the Formula V.
The Formula V.
I absolutely love that little thing because it's the right combination of accessible yet still difficult to drive.
Yeah, I think the Formula V also it has a really great handling overall, and for all skill levels can get in there.
Just move along, or
What's that?
because looks like the warm up is moving along and everybody is jamming and joining. We have quite a few people actually getting themselves out on track. So I'm wondering if we just waited for time to expire on that session and we're going live.
Hopefully not, because I already backed out.
You can get yourself back in.
Yeah, I know. But no, they said, oh, no. Now I just got, maybe not. So we'll see what that means. I will, let's see.
Yeah, I'm looking. We're fine. We're starting to get people out on track, putting in times. So, yeah, we definitely have action out on track. And right now, I think we're good. Slowly, everybody's getting themselves back in. I think that session just ran out of time.
All right, well, I'm going to hop back in there. That's,
Yeah, you've got 3 minutes and your computer's allegedly fast enough, but I don't trust it.
I think I have like a scheduler or something going on in the background at Mondays at 8, because it doesn't like me on Mondays at 8.
Well, at least it's not completely crashing. And it's also good that it's my computer running this. But I'm hoping that tonight, though Lanier is a very small track, these cars are perfect for it. I'm hoping we can keep it clean for quite a few laps because there are many opportunities to pass. While the low line is going to be the preferred line, if somebody on the outside takes the opportunity to press them down and keep them from getting the full swing out of the corners, you can make that outside line work and get the advantage by forcing that person on the inside to kill their tires, get the temperature up on these Hoosiers, and really make the impact that way to set up a pass later. Because there's no denying that this track, for something this short, is unbelievably wide.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the grooves itself, I mean, there's three, maybe 4 grooves that your cars can go, and then you can also hit the apron. The apron is just a little bit lower bank than the actual track, so I mean, you can get your left sides there and not be too terribly screwed.
In some of the smaller cars, I'm specifically thinking the Legends, I've actually used that apron and that little bit of a banking difference to help me turn. To where it is something that would be possible in the street stocks. It's just ever so slightly more on the unpleasant for the car when you hit it. Because that's the difference between 110 horsepower, and I do believe that these are 300. So there's no way around the fact that, yeah, that's how these cars are. We're talking full V8 power, whereas as we get a beautiful view right there of the 23 hitting the wall. But we are 26 seconds away from getting this race underway, and we will give you the full rundown of this field once things get moving, because again, we have the top 14 being inverted. So the man at the front, when it came to qualifying, will not be at the front to start this.
Yeah, with the 14 car invert, it's going to be a different field than when qualified.
But that is going to give us everyone here, so let's take a quick run through the grid. And our pole sitter is Bryan Hacker, who will be actually starting in 14th. Second is Matt Dula. Third, Jared Apel. Fourth is Brandon Klesniski. Fifth is Ryan Johnson. Sixth, Gary Eschen. Seventh, Will Eastman. Eighth is Adam Gable. Ninth, Al Smith Jr. And 10th is Justin Rigsby.
11th is Brandon Klesniski. 12th is Jared Appel. 13th is Matt Dula. 14th is Bryan Hacker. 15th is Dustin Shepard. 16th is Jeff Behringer. 17th is Josh Nelms. 18th is Justin Grosser. 19th is John Cross. And 20th is Cody Hubbard.
And 21st is Thomas Stewart. 22nd, Jason Dinsmore. 23rd is Travis Hoffler. 24th is Shane Loveridge. 25th is Robbie Clavey. 26th is Jerry Lyon. And that is rounding out. Oh, and 27th is Dan Janjanin. And everybody's flipping around, so it's confusing. So let's go ahead, get ourselves up on the leader. Let's get a good blimp view of this start, because again, this is the shortest of short tracks that we are going to see in this league. And right now, Matt Cook on the outside is getting the jump, and inside is Jeff Mathis, gets a great jump, gets a one car lead jump, and Dante Curtis is right there in the 03 on that inside line. The Matt Cook is trying to hold on to that second or third place position, but he's hung up on the outside. The 31 is going to get himself down below, and now he's under pressure from the 91, and Dante Curtis has actually taken over the lead by getting on that low line, and he is now off, looking to put a gap on the rest of the field.
Yeah, we got him out there, and we got a caution on track.
We have our caution, and that looks like Jason Dinsmore in the number 62. Blinking all over the place here. Oh, just gets a little bit of a tip from Jerry Lyon and makes his way around. And that's one of the unfortunate things when it comes down to being that blinker in these kinds of online sessions. People may not know where you are and may give you a little bit of the tip there just and send you around, even with the most innocent of taps.
Yeah, sometimes it happens. I mean, these nodes are very long, and you have to try to judge as best as possible where people are at, and it can happen.
Yeah, there's definitely nothing nefarious about that one. It's just an unfortunate byproduct of being invisible for a matter of moments. You aren't gonna really be able to judge a vehicle that isn't there. And as we're seeing, Cale Curtis, you're definitely not wrong. Lap traffic at this short of a track can change the course of a race. Because you may have that person that doesn't realize that they need to be all the way up against the wall, may end up taking a little bit of a slightly lower line and throw a leader off, and it can create some chaos.
Yeah, and and it's just a blink of an eye. The person in front of you, hits the brake a little bit too much because I mean you're on the gas, on the brakes, on the gas, on the brakes, and you're going through, and just a little bit of blink, and your front end's underneath his rear end, and he's going around.
And we're lined up 2 by 2, so the lights on the pace truck are off. So it's on its way in right now, and it's up to Dante Curtis to lead, and he gets a great jump, gets a 1 car length run over second place of Jeff Mathis, and he is looking to just go ahead and take off as quickly as he can, leaving nothing to chance. And we're seeing a lot of side-by-side racing farther back in the field to where...
Oh, there goes around. The second place guy, number 8, is around.
Second place gets a little bit of the tip. And that is just unfortunate. And that was the 08 of Jeff Mathis. And let's see what we can find here. Let's see if we can find it. This is what software updates will do to you. Is nothing works the way you want. And Jeff Mathis just a little bit quick on the brakes and gets a tip from the 31 of Justin Rigsby, and around he goes.
Yeah, it happens. Like I said, just a little bit is there, and around it goes.
And it's looking like the 31 is getting the EOL according to race control. And honestly, that's just one of those situations that wrong place, wrong time, and sometimes you just have to be ready for the person in front of you to make those kinds of moves.
So these guys are running pretty hard right now, but we're only just a few laps in there, 14 laps of the wonderful 125 laps we're going to be running tonight. So these guys are going to have to take it a little bit slower, a little bit more patience here.
Well, and the biggest thing that these guys are running through their mind is Lanier is a position track.
Yeah, I mean, you're not passing somebody on the outside here. You might hang with them a couple of laps, but you're not going to be doing the passing on the outside. You get in front of that person, you're hugging that bottom line. It's a position track.
Yeah, and honestly, for probably the first 2, as the pace truck is off, and Dante Curtis gets a great jump, gets himself fully clear of the number 91. The 23 is on that outside and just going to go ahead and unfortunately fall back. Just fall in line, though, only back into 4th. The 15, Matt Cook, gets in front of him, but it's 2 by 2 from 5th place on back, with the number 98 is doing a great job of holding on that outside line, trying to keep at least close to the 68. He's doing exactly what he should be, forcing the 68 down as low as possible, but the 98 is going to keep falling unless he can get himself back down onto that low line.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to continue to fight as much as possible until that opening happens. Until that opening happens, you're a sitting duck.
Well, and the big thing is right now, that number 98, yes, it's going to go ahead and do a little bit of fighting with that Dogecoin car. The number 17 of Matt Dula, who was up at the front and has to fight his way back due to the position invert. But right now, Jared Abel, another one of those good qualifiers, is trying to get himself back up. He's fighting on that inside, and if he's not careful, he is going to end up falling back himself by overheating those tires on this track that you don't ever really stop turning.
We got one car just bounced off the wall going out the back straightaway there. Looks like the number 98 car.
And we're just sitting here. Unfortunately, Brandon was up towards the front on this restart and just has not been able to get himself a clean line down. And he's doing his best to try to fight on the outside, but every time it looks like there may be a little bit of a gap, there's another car to fill it.
Yeah, you know, it sucks because, I mean, you have speed and you want to try to get there, but there's no gap. And then when there is a gap, you're in the wrong place at the wrong time and you can't feel it.
And we're starting to see, as the course of this run is going on, we have cars on roughly 2/3 of this track where Dante Curtis, he's just taking off. He is 6/10 clear of second place right now. And we're just falling in line and the laps are ticking off. We are about to complete lap 27 of 125. And just clearing up, but right now Adam Gable is closing down the gap on Dante Curtis to where it was 6/10. He's down to 5/10, but he's also looking, there's a little bit of a pack right behind him.
Oh man, the number 10, he got really close back there. There got a little bit of a brake check up there. 98 got in the wall. He's off the pace right now. He's falling back. Brandon is slowly falling back now. He's at the tail end of the line almost there.
Yeah, but he's found his way into the line, and now it's just, let's go ahead, find that gap, but I got to get up here as Matt Dula under pressure from Will Eastman, who's taking it on the outside. Jared Apel in the 51 is going to keep him up there. And Will Eastman, he's in position to lose at least 3 spots in this process as he's getting real close to that 51. And the 38 of Justin Grosser is going to get below him. And Will Eastman's going to fall back in line. He's going to end up in 9th. Despite the fact that he was trying to get himself up a little bit higher. And now we're starting to see the conga line start here around Lanier.
Yeah, like you said, it's going to be a position-based track. You know, we've finally gotten the group. Everybody's getting into it. There's, caution hasn't came out. So these guys are, starting to get single file, and it's going to take a while for people to find a way to get around each other.
And what I'm worried about is we're going to sit here. We've got 40% fuel tonight, which means these guys are definitely going to need to make a stop. If we end up green flag as we're sitting here watching Matt Cook be under massive amounts of pressure from Gary Eschen, who is getting his nose right up against that bumper of Gary Eschen, and this thing is not going away.
Yeah, he's right there on the back bumper of him, and then he's getting pressure from the guy behind him. So, I mean, he can't let up because he might be getting past. So he's doing his best to put that little flex there, show that he's there, hoping that he makes a mistake and he can get that nose up underneath him.
As we're sitting here watching the rear bumper cam, and it's full of that Camaro livery on this street stock right now. And we can see that Gary Eschen is taking a very different line off of the corners. He's staying lower while Matt Cook goes high. And it looks like right now Gary Eschen's going to get himself down below Matt Cook. That's going to force him to the outside. The pass is done in a single turn. But now can Matt Cook go ahead and collect himself and keep Jordan Madron from getting another position and pushing him a little bit farther back, as he's also starting to gain just ever so slightly. And oh, we got a little bit of a touch. The sparks keep flying and we stay green despite that. And unfortunately, Matt Dula in an attempt to keep from hitting these guys, ends up losing the position to Jared Apel. And right now, actually looking like he's going to be under pressure from the 38. Gets a little bit loose going into the corner, and that's going to give the 38 the opportunity to get down below. And he is squirrely going through these turns. The 17 is now going to be passed by the
caution.
13. And ooh, caution is out. Just when things were getting spicy.
Yeah, everybody's starting to figure out this low line, single line conga train and how to put pressure to them.
Oh, there it is. The 96 just gets turned around in that process. And yeah, the 20 just goes in a little bit hot, gives that rear end a nudge, and the 96 is around. Everyone keeps it straight, but that's definitely going to be enough to bring out the caution. And if I'm being honest, that should probably end up bringing a few more in. But let's go ahead, while we're under caution, take a quick commercial break and hear about the wonderful sponsors for the North-South Racing.
Cross Collision and Body is located in Minerva, Ohio, and specializes in returning your car back to its pre-accident condition. They work with all insurance companies to fix your car the correct way. For scheduling and questions, please visit their Facebook page or call the shop at 330-868-6011. J&G Hardwood Flooring is a small family-owned business which started in 2005, located in Christiana, Tennessee, and serves all of Middle Tennessee. Owners Josh and Brandon Klaczynski have a combined 35 years of experience to serve all of your flooring needs, from new construction, remodels, or even small repairs. For estimates and scheduling, call 615-904-2218.
And we are back. We got to hear from our title sponsor of Cross Auto Body and Collision and J&G Hardwood Floors, which I kind of need in my house, but surprisingly, as we are getting ready to go back to green as the pace truck is peeling off, not many takers on. And are we immediately back to caution?
We are. Yes, we are. Oh man, the pace truck was weird.
I'm not used to things coming back that quickly, but we're back under caution for lap 50 of 125. And I'm wondering if that was just a late.
I think it was a late delayed.
That's what I'm figuring.
I'm seeing that it's been delayed twice. So by one of the race controls.
But the lights on the pace truck are back off and we're ready to go racing, and the green flag is out. The 03 gets a reasonable jump, and that's going to hold the 91 up on that high line. That's going to give the 23 the opportunity to get up into second place, and we are staying side by side with the exception of the leader. So everybody on that outside line, and there's
a caution.
All right. That looks like one of our favorites, the 51 of Jared Apel. Someone took it 3 wide, and yeah, he was definitely not aware of the fact that he was going 3 wide, and a little bit of a tap is all you need. I was gonna say, what we can do here real quick is go back here and go on board, and yeah, from where he is, there is no way he knows that there is a 3 wide situation starting. He turned in like there was one person like his spotter was calling for, and unfortunately, that's not all there was.
Yeah, these guys are out there trying to run as hard as they can because on these restarts, because they know this is their bread and butter, especially if you're in the bottom, because you want to continue on getting that bottom to roll as fast as possible and hug that guy in front of you, so the guy on the outside has no place to go on the bottom side in front of you.
Well, and every single one of these guys that's on that bottom, if they play it right, the person at the back on the inside is going to move halfway through the field. Because if they keep it and make it to where there is no gap available for that top line, you could seriously move from 27th up to 15th with this group. Because these guys are fantastic drivers, and even the most minuscule of spaces. We are back to green. The 03 gets the jump, and the 91 is able to slot down into that low line, leaving no space between him and the 03. And the 23 is working on getting his way back up into third, and that is actually going to leave the 68 of Jordan Madron on the outside. Matt Cook gets around him. The 38 of Justin Grosser is about to get around him. And that's going to leave Will Eastman as the opportunist as well to get himself
and caution's up. Back out.
And yep, these guys are definitely looking to get themselves up just a little bit faster. And if I'm looking at this correctly, that is the 31 getting a little bit of love on the way around. And let's see if I can get myself a slightly better angle. Oh yeah, he definitely just, as he was making his way down, thinking that gap was there was just nothing left. So right now, the 77 is actually going to get the EOL. So Jerry Lyon is going to move to the back. We're seeing the 51 of Jared Apel make his way around as the lucky dog, getting a lap back. And these guys we haven't seen many pits yet, and I'm kind of curious.
No, I mean, we've only seen
these guys are going to be able to make it.
We've only seen about 6 cars pit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 cars have pit so far tonight, and the first one back up the highest is Matt Dula, and he's around the 13th, 14th. He's bouncing back and forth, so he's somewhere back in that aspect. That's where he's at.
As the lights on the pace truck are off, and we're actually going to go on the bumper of our leader, Dante Curtis, who right as everybody bunches up on him, gets a great jump. The 91 is still on the outside, but that is going to leave the door open. He's going to get into second. Gary Eschen in the 23, and we are going single file through the first 4. But Will Eastman's on that low line, going to get down below Matt Cook in the 15. The 38 is jockeying, trying to get his nose down below the 15, gets it down, and that's going to give him the opportunity to get around, to get himself up into 6th place as we go ahead onto the backstretch. And the 38 is now on that
another caution's out.
Caution is making its way out, so let's see. Was this actually it? Okay. Click on it. And the 77 just trying to avoid things, gets a little nudge from the 51 as that one, I kind of got nothing. I've been in that situation, and he has to check up a little bit hard to avoid hitting the 10, and in that process, the 51 gets him.
Yeah, it's just one of those situations that you find yourself in that you don't want to be in, and ultimately you get in the back of the guy in front of you and just into that time for him.
Well, and we're starting to see a few pit stops. The 15 of Matt Cook has made his way in.
Jeff Behringer.
21 of Jeff Behringer in that beautiful chrome under the lights. And it's a gamble at this track if you're going to end up going a lap down, but there's a chance if you just take those outsides, you're going to be much faster than anyone that has not taken the time, but you also have to worry about making your way through the field.
Yeah, that's the worst problem about it is you have to try to make your way back up. As we see, Matt Dula hasn't been able to get all the way back up. He was one of the fastest tonight in early practice, and he's pitted. He's only up to 12th right now.
As we're starting to see the stack up to side by side, as we've got a half a lap before we're back to green. Luckily, this track and its short stature makes it to where these cautions are short too. So the pace truck is off, and Dante Curtis gets a little bit loose trying to put the hammer down, and that kind of sets a little bit of chaos going on behind him to where the 68 is down below the 23. The 91 is right on the bumper of the 68, but that's going to give the opportunity to Dante Curtis to start pulling away from this group, and the 23 is doing a fantastic job of holding off on that outside line and gets himself up into the standard groove.
Yeah, I mean, he looked like he was running a little bit higher groove there than normal. So instead of trying to pinch the guy down, he was up about a lane and a half. I think he got a little bit more of an arc out of there. Is able to clear him and get back up in second spot.
And we've made it through a little bit of the chaos that we've been having on the past few restarts. Going to make a jump back to where we are 2 by 2. The 96 has the 11 of Bryan Hacker getting himself underneath, and the 96 and the 30 are getting held up on that outside line, and that's going to create a little bit of a freight train to where right now the 03 or the 3 is getting himself down below the 96 and trying to make his way through. Matt Dula, who was strong in qualifying, is also on that inside line trying to get himself down below, and these guys are going inches away from one another. They're door handle to door handle, and they're trying to get themselves around, but the 96 is doing a fantastic job of holding on that outside line.
Yeah, Matt Dula's not making it easy for number 3 right there to hold his line. He's doing his best to get him off of him, but he's not going anywhere. Ryan Johnson's doing a fantastic job. He's able to get up there and clear him. Now Matt Dula wants to do the same thing with the 96.
And that's the big thing, is if I'm in that 17, I'm trying to get ourselves to single file as quickly as I can. So rather than trying to fight 2 people too wide, I'm trying to put the pressure on you, try to get the mistake like he just had through 1 and 2. He's running a little bit high. He missed his braking point. Now the 17 is putting a lot of pressure on the 3, hoping for another mistake to where he can get the nose of that Dogecoin car underneath and get the pass done, as we are completing lap 82 of 125.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of great action. We're basically all single file now, and you can see people jockeying. They're trying to drop their left tires below that that dotted yellow line there, and they're trying to find a way to get their nose underneath them to get that pass made.
And right now, the 17 is giving absolutely nothing. Gets the nose down below the 3, and as long as there's no major issue, he's going to get that pass done. Actually, coming out of turn 2, he should be able to clear all the way up to the wall, but he gives them a little bit of extra space. But the 3 is now moved back into 9th place, and last week's winner is currently running in 9th. And the 17 is going to set his sights, trying to get himself back up to this front pack, which has really broken out into two groups to where it's 3rd through 7th. And this group is not given any space. And am I going crazy, or was there a car turned around right there at the pit exit? It could have just been the pace car, but I'm not 100%
There's
sure.
a yellow flag right there.
There
Number
it
15
is.
was sideways right there.
Let's go ahead and take a quick look, and it looks like this was the 89 of Dustin Shepard. And just gets a little bit of the tip from the 15, sends him spinning, and that one's cut and dry. So let's go ahead and hear from the next batch of sponsors from the league.
5 Star Realty Group is located on the Emerald Coast in beautiful Panama City, Florida. 5 Star Realty Group has years of experience in residential properties, investment opportunities, vacation rentals, and commercial properties, and looks forward to helping you with all of your real estate needs. Kelly's Custom Engraving is a locally owned and operated business located in Buellaville, North Carolina, specializing in custom engraving of wood, leather, glass, acrylic, and many more materials. Be sure to like and follow their Facebook page to view all of their amazing products and place your order.
All right, and we are back. And Adam, I have to ask, we are seeing no pit stops unless it's forced by an incident.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason. We got Jeff. He's made 2 pit stops so far, but I don't know if that's due to damage. And Matt Dula, like I said, he was the fastest. He started mid-pack, raced his way up a little bit. And last time we talked, he was in 12th. We're talking about pit strategy. He's in 8th now. So wonder if he shoot himself for actually pitting.
Well, I mean, he's got the fresher tires, and he is making his way up. He's just in the unfortunate position that he is on the outside on this restart, where we've seen throughout the course of the night, that is not where you want to be.
No, not at all.
As the lights on the pacer truck are off, it's about to dive into the pits. Dante Curtis wastes no time getting a 2-car length lead, but the 68 is going to get himself down on that low line. The 23 is going to be hung up on the outside, and cautions back out.
Cautions breed cautions, especially as short track racing.
Oh, and again, it's one of the inherent natures of this track, but let's take a quick look at that. Was where I wanted to click. Yeah, this is just tight racing, and it looks like the 20 just misjudged where the 8 was going to be braking, and we get ourselves a little bit of a spin around, and yeah, there's just nothing we can do. And
Nope.
we're definitely at the point that if these guys are capable of making it on fuel, which I would assume that people would have already made the pit stops, no one's going to make their way in at this point.
No. I think it's a death sentence at this point. If you go in right now, it's a death sentence.
Yeah, you've got 20% of the race distance left. There is absolutely no reason for you to make that trip.
The heat cycles alone on here won't make a difference. You're gonna, with these cautions, breeding cautions, it's just gonna cycle the tire and over and over, and you'll lose any advantage if you had any by going in to get new tires.
But we're seeing Dante Curtis been at the front throughout the course of the season so far. and not quite got the win yet. Could tonight be the night, as we've got about, we're going to go green with about 20% of the race left with the lights on the pace truck off.
All right, the truck is off. They're slowing down, get them stacked up.
And right now, I would say that Gary Yeshin is the one that is most excited about this restart, as Dante Curtis is off. That 23, the 68 gets a fantastic jump, but unfortunately on that outside line. So the 23 is going to get down below. The 38 is going to be following. And we're managing to stay green, but the 38 of Justin Grosser is getting his way, as we see the 68 fly into the outside wall. But we're staying green because he keeps it on the outside and doesn't really cut across the track.
And there we go.
But there is the yellow flag. So let's take a quick look at what happened there. We'll go from the blimp. Oh, just gets a nudge from the 91. And we're going to have to go a little bit farther back than SDK wanted to take us. And that's just the 91 just getting real aggressive. Almost looks like he may have been trying to do a little bit of a bump and run there. Did a little bit more bumping than running.
Yeah.
But definitely, as I'm getting the word from race control, the 91 is getting an EOL for that. And that's unfortunate because Adam Gable has been doing a fantastic job. He's been up in the front for most of the night. And it's unfortunate that just that one little incident is ultimately going to ruin a fantastic night.
Yeah, that's all it takes is that one little incident that ruin everything that you've worked for all night long. And, unfortunately, it happens near the late tail end of the race. And it's going to be hard for them to overcome, especially, everybody's now figured the track out, figured out how to battle and where to be and where not to be.
And if I'm being completely honest, the person that is normally these kind of processional races that we see are the bane of a driver. But if honestly I'm sitting in Dante Curtis's position, this is making me happy. He doesn't really have to do too many battles for laps. And ultimately, as we're coming up on 17 to go, when the pace truck peels off, the more restarts, the less laps he has to battle.
Yeah, these guys are going to have to get out there and show them up here. And pace car is off.
He wastes no time on that jump and gets himself out. And the 23 is maybe going to be able to get the run off of the outside, gets himself up into second. And that's not going to be the kind of thing that you want to have to try to redo that restart, because that was about as good as you could expect on the outside line. And we're starting to see the lineup on the outside as things are getting a little bit crazy. We may be going 3 wide momentarily with the 13 and the 98, but the 11 gets a little bit loose, loses a lot of ground. And ultimately, we're starting to see the single file procession as far back as 10th right now. And the battle for 9th and 10th is between the 11 and 30. The 30 is down on that low line. The 51 is hoping to be able to push him up to that 9th place to where he can take over 10th. And that looks like it's going to be the case, but the 11 is fighting back hard on the outside, giving next to no space and flirting with the netcode gods.
Yeah, these guys are running side by side, almost door handle to door handle. They could actually reach out and probably touch the car next to them in the middle of these corners.
And the net code that associates with iRacing is definitely a demon that you don't want to be fighting with too much. But the 51 and the 11 are getting real close to where they are lug nut to lug nut going through 1 and 2. The 51 gets a little bit loose. It may have been contact, it may have just been aggression, but the 51 is doing his best to try to get himself fully around the 11. Gets himself clear, but the 3 is looking to be the next one to try to push the 11 back a lap. We have 10 to go, and we're getting ourselves back to single file, but I want to jump up to the front. Gary Eschen and Dante Curtis are heating up this battle. We only have 10 laps to go, and the 03 gets a little bit loose coming out of turn 4, and that may open up the door for Will Eastman, who's running out of laps to try to make a move.
Yeah, right now he's all over his back bumper. He's on the inside right now, going down the front straightaway. He takes over the lead.
And that's going to give Dante Curtis, who forces his way down, actually gets himself in front of the 38. I have no idea how. He is down below, and these guys manage to keep it straight. But the 13 the 23 is running away. Dante Curtis tried to be opportunistic, almost got it, but touched the 23, and everybody backs up, and it looks like the 17 gets moved ever so slightly, and that's going to bring out the caution.
Matt Dula got turned right there, and he is around.
Whew.
Oh man, it's getting spicy here at the end.
Yeah, it looks like the 96 and the 17 had a little bit of net code, and Matt Dula, who is having a fantastic race, working his way back up to the front after the inversion at the beginning of the race, just unfortunately has a bit of a bad time. So let's take a look at this from the blimp. Yeah, he just cuts down on the 96 there. It's just good hard racing, especially as we're coming to the end of the race. Honestly, I would have made that move, as Adam, you know, because I'll just door someone in that situation.
Yeah, definitely. If 8 tires are better than 4 in some incidents here within iRacing.
But right now, we are going green-white checkered, and it is going to be the lone opportunity we have for this. So we are going to have one green flag fly. If we can get through a full lap, the white flag will fly, and then the checkered after that. If not, we're finishing this one under caution, and Dante Curtis, who has led so much of this race, he's got 2 laps to do it.
He's going to have the restart of his lifetime here. He's not controlling it finally. Somebody else is, and he's going to have to be the one to get the jump and try to hug his outside the whole entire time.
And if I'm in his shoes, I'm given no space. I am swapping paint with that 23 through this whole process. Keep him on that low line, give him no space. That way, he's uncomfortable as we start, as the truck is off. And Dante Curtis does get a fantastic restart, but he's going to have to get himself down onto that low line, but the 38 is not given much space. He gets it done. Gets a little squirrely coming out of 2, but the 38 is right there. The 13 is running around the outside. The white flag does fly. Dante Curtis gets below the 23, blinks out ever so slightly, but he is on that low line. Is he going to be able to get the win? He gets down below the dotted line, but the 23 holds on for the win.
Man, that was a fantastic finish there. Dante Curtis gave it everything he had there.
But Gary Eschen holds on for the win in fantastic fashion. And, I mean, if I'm being honest, he won the hard way. He won on the outside. He forced the 03 down into a very uncomfortable position and manages to hold on for the win. So let's take a quick run through the field, and apparently this button's broken. So let's go ahead and do it this way. I'm gonna cheat.
I'm gonna let you take over everything. I kind of needed to.
Yeah, I know.
See about something.
All right, so our winner is Gary Eschen. Second is Dante Curtis. Third is Justin Grosser. Fourth is Will Eastman. Fifth is Cody Hubrid. Sixth, Ryan Johnson. Seventh, Jared Apel. Eighth, Bryan Hacker. Ninth is Jeff Bergener. 10th is Dustin Shepard. 11th is Travis Hoffler. 12th is Justin Rigsby. 13th is Justin Cross. 14th is Adam Gable. 15th is Shane Loveridge. 16th is Matt Cook. 17th is Robbie Clavey. 18th, Jeff Mathis. 19th, Matt Dula. 20th, Al Smith Jr. 21st is Thomas Stewart. 22nd is Josh Nelms. 23rd is Brandon Klesniewski. 24th is Jordan Madron. 25th, Jerry Lyon. 26th, Jason Dismore. And 27th is Dan Janjanin. So I will go ahead and bring up our winner of Gary Eschen.
User was moved to your channel.
Gary, I have no words for the end of this race.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I really and truly, like, what was going through your mind having to defend on the outside, which is definitely not the preferred line through that green-white checkered?
No, I tried to throw a block going into 3, and I ended up drifting up the track a little bit and gave him room to get underneath. And I knew from the next couple of corners that I was going to have to hold it, pinch it down, and hopefully he couldn't get a good enough run on me, and I was able to hold on the outside.
You definitely pinched him down. He had used down below the yellow line once or twice throughout the race to try to get a move done. Apparently, you just had the perfect line for running a little bit high to where it just worked, and it was a great run.
Yeah, it was a pretty intense battle there the last 30, 40 laps. Every time a caution would come out, I'm like, damn, I'm going to lose this. I'm going to go back to third. And I don't know, I'm going to get stuck on the outside. But luckily, everything fell into place where we needed it to.
Yeah, that... I won't lie, I was sitting thinking the exact same thing as you. Is if you watch, yeah, there were quite a few moments that we were just saying, if you're on that outside, it was a death sentence. And yet you somehow made it work.
Multiple times.
Yeah, you got to hold it down right on that line and hope that the car that's on the inside is not going to drift up too much. And usually the outside, you can run 2 grooves here if you're easy on the pedal. It works pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I mean, you did a fantastic job all night long. I mean, you worked your way up through the field. I mean, you weren't up there, like, from the get-go. You had to basically force your way up there. And you did a hell of a job to get that pass done and to take over the lead. But what was it like being a little bit further back in the pack and having to drive your way up?
It wasn't that bad. Starting 9th, it was basically just trying to get a good enough run to get underneath people to get a run to go, because I know if I tried to pass them on the outside, it probably wasn't going to work, and I didn't want to eat up my tires too much as well.
So knowing that this track is Atlanta, how much was tire temperature really the enemy today? Because no one really pit tonight.
Yeah, odd thing is normally I always take 2 right sides, and we didn't even have to take tires or gas tonight. I think that's due to all the cautions, but yeah, overall it worked. The tires, I never felt like I really lost a lot. I felt like I was pretty consistent all race long. So where people were falling off at the end, I was still able to keep a good speed the whole time.
All right, so next week, I cannot remember where we're running because I'll admit I have the memory of a goldfish, and I mean, it's just kind of how my brain ends up working.
Yeah, I'm not even quite sure. I thought someone said maybe we're on a dirt track. I'm not sure.
2 weeks.
That's 2 weeks. I'm not looking forward to that one.
So, I mean, we could talk about that one because...
Oh, no, I'm going to be terrible.
Well, I feel like that most everyone is going to have a little bit of an issue because, I mean, unless that has been your focus, no one's going to be ready for a dirt track.
Well, Dante, he races on dirt in real life. So I'm pretty sure he's probably going to be fast, and I know Hacker's really fast on dirt as well. So those will be 2 cars to look for next week, I know.
So next week is the bull ring.
Oh, God.
Oh, I like that track too. And tonight's race kind of showed why we need to do a little bit more short tracks. I mean, I thought the racing was really good and tight and close. So, it's a tight field, a lot of good drivers in here, and thank the admins and everyone that put all this together. It's a really good league, and it's tough to get a win. That's quite a bit here.
But yeah,
Wilkins, man, you did a really great job.
Thank you.
But we will let you get back to partying because first win of the season.
Yeah, I definitely needed that after the last 2 weeks.
You've had some bad luck, but at the same time, got to take the wins when you can get them, and definitely the points when you can get them.
Oh, absolutely. Hopefully this will help.
I would definitely say it will. But congratulations. Great run tonight. And hopefully we'll get to chat with you more.
All right, thanks. Take it easy, guys.
Have a good one.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right. What's turning into a bit of a
User
weekly
was moved to
tradition.
Your channel.
Let's go ahead and chat with Mr. Curtis. So it was I honestly have nothing but sympathy for you tonight.
Oh yeah, it was a tough one. We definitely weren't the quickest car. Gary was really quick, and just mainly the whole race, I kind of was just running my own little pace, trying to hold on and save, and Gary to come up through the pack and done a lot of hard racing. So he might have figured out a thing or two going up through the field, but all in all, I mean, I just tried everything I could to try and hold him off, and then after that, I thought we had us a chance there on that last restart, but just couldn't roll the bottom good enough.
Well, and I have to ask, we saw you making moves, getting down below the line on the turns, which definitely, well, I'll say Lanier is one of the tracks you can actually pull that off. But
yeah,
what didn't seem preferable for many people.
No, ain't much banking down there, so really not the, it's down there if you need to use it. It's not really the fastest way around. Probably a couple times I went down there and just missed my line a little bit, and when it gets tight, that apron it'll help turn you a little bit, so I'll just get down there and try and help it turn.
Yeah, I mean, you ran a heck of a race. I mean, at one point you were pulling out. I think people tend to find out what the track is about halfway through the race, and able to change up their lines a little bit more. They're able to chase you down. So what was going through your mind on that last green white checkers, knowing that you have to basically pull out all the stops there to try and get the win?
Well, plain and simple, pretty much knew I wasn't going to win the race if I was on the outside. I probably couldn't have rolled it that good, and if I did roll it good enough, Gary probably would have been a smart thing to do to just kind of run me even higher. But so I knew I had to get down to the bottom. I looked up in the mirror after we took the green and had me a little gap down there in the bottom, and I knew probably after a lap he might be able to drive away. So I figured quick as I could, just try and get him with a crossover. And I think I did the crossover too good. If I wouldn't have got us both loose, I might have been able to get a run up under him. But when it killed both of our momentum, he was able to kind of stay in front there a little bit. I thought about getting into him, trying to get into him square going into 3, but I would have really had to overdrove it. And I thought I could get the bottom rolling good enough, but just couldn't really get it done.
I mean, I have to commend you for at least being enough of a gentleman to realize that you would have overdriven it, but at the same time, you're also talking to somebody that kind of has a YOLO mentality in that situation.
Yeah, Gary, he's never raced me dirty before. He gave me a good shot there during that race to get up under me. Wasn't nothing wrong with it, it's just product of Lanier, and hopefully get back next week and we'll be quicker than him. Just won't have to worry about hitting him or nothing. We can just drive away.
Well, I mean, we're going to the bull ring, which is strikingly similar.
Yeah, hopefully not too many bumpers will be crunched up and too many radiators be lost. Probably be a tough beating and banging race just like this week, but you can race. It's a little different. The backstretch really widens out back there, so there'll be a lot of room for some optimistic moves next week, probably.
Well, and honestly, if this week was any indication, I'm looking forward to it because we did have a little bit of a caution problem there in the middle, but honestly, the racing that tonight provided, I enjoyed every second of it.
Yeah, not many of the guys are really happy with this track. They were really there's a lot of hurt feelings and a lot of sadness, especially between the 89 and the 98 in our group. But all in all, it's a really tough track, and it promotes a lot of beating and banging. And I thought for sure with Gary getting a second there, I thought maybe on a restart, maybe he could get stuck on the outside and we can drive back away from him. But it didn't work.
Well, I mean,
we can only hope.
We're at the point to where we're starting to see a little bit of a tradition here with us chatting with you on a Monday night. So, best of luck next week. Eventually, I'm going to reach the point to where I'm going to become unbiased and just be rooting for you to finally get that win.
Yeah, I mean, I had plenty last year, and so far 3 races in, we ain't finished worse than third, but we still ain't got a win for it. So, hopefully we can get to some of these tracks and just start winning a whole bunch like last season.
I unfortunately feel your pain. I went through about this time last year, as Adam can attest to. It took me 7 races to win, but it was a podium every other race.
Oh, he was about basically being nicknamed the new Mark Martin in our league.
Yeah, that's where we're getting to. But hopefully we can get some wins here and really open up a big points gap here and look forward to that championship.
All right, great race. Unfortunately, didn't quite get the finish, but still keep the eye on the prize, the points for the full season. And best of luck to you next week at the Bull Ring, and maybe we'll chat with you again.
Yep, hopefully I get to talk to y'all next week. We'll see y'all.
All right, thank you, sir.
User left your channel.
All right, and on to the newest person that we get
User
to
was
chat
moved
with
to your
this week.
channel.
The third place finisher, the 38. All right, Justin, just before I want to make sure it's grosser, correct?
Yeah, it's just like it looks.
Okay,
Don't try to overcomplicate it.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't trying to overcomplicate it. Oh, tonight, you, sir, your name came up a lot. We saw a lot of the 38.
Good and bad. Not like bad as in like you wrecking or anything like that, but bad as in people cut your nose off there at the end there.
Yeah, I mean, it was. It's tough when you start. I'm not a good qualifier. I started back there in 18th and just tried to get to the bottom, and it's like I got to the bottom once, gained a couple spots, and then like the second caution, I'm back to the outside. There goes those 2 spots, and I got to fight back for those. But yeah, it was just you just got to be so patient. You have to be patient and really pick your battles. Not if you get someone that you're kind of frustrated with in front of you, you just gotta ride it out, knowing that the bottom line's gonna win out. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think that anybody really chopped my nose off that bad tonight. There was a lot of beating and banging going on for the lead, and I thought I was going to be in either the worst spot or the best spot there when I was running third before that last caution. But that's the way it goes.
Well, it's more just, honestly, every time you would end up on camera, it was either you were running as part of a train underneath someone stuck on the outside, and once you were the person stuck on the outside.
Yeah, it's just so disheartening. It's like it's just like watching someone kick your dog when the caution comes out, and you're like, oh, I'm on the outside. Like, great, here we go again. This is just what I want to deal with. But no, it's just name of the game. You see someone, it's like sharks when they smell blood in the water. You get someone stuck up on the outside, and if you're a car length or 2 back, maybe just trying to ride, all of a sudden it's like, all right, I gotta push a little bit here, try to close the gap so they can't get back down. And that's all it is, just one by one, picking them off, trying to keep it clean, and work my way forward. So it worked out.
Honestly, a third place, especially at a track like Lanier, it is nothing to scoff at for one simple reason. It's a track position race. And you manage to put yourself at the right position when the checkered flag flies.
Yeah, I saw some of those guys ducking in for tires there, and I was curious to see how they come back to the field. I think Dula was probably one of the first people to do it, but it almost seemed like by the time he got back to us, our tires had almost evened out. There was a period of, I want to say 7, 8, 9, 10 laps where Dula was kind of right behind me, and I didn't feel like he had a huge advantage on me. I felt like it was going to make a mistake. It was going to take a mistake on my part to give up, or for him to use the bumper, which I fully expected also. But yeah, it's all track position. That's a lot of this stuff is track position because everybody's so good, and especially when you get up inside the top 10. I mean, there's some really stout competition here, and it's like if you can position yourself in front of them, that's half the battle,
I mean, it was a great run from you all night. You definitely were the big gainer of the night with 15 places. So I have to commend you, especially with all the chaos that was happening out on track, managing to be that person that's fully able to take advantage of everybody having a little bit of an issue here, a great pass there, being on the right line at the right time. Honestly, great run tonight.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. I appreciate that, man. Like I said, a lot of it is just luck where you end up restarting. It's just part of the deal, But to come from 18th to third and 0x, I get the bonus points for that. That's pretty cool. That's almost like a win when you think about it like that. So I'm good with it.
No, honestly, I don't get to see that because it's not something that we get to see. honestly, a 0x tonight at Lanier, that alone deserves a trophy.
Yeah, I mean, the sketchiest thing I really had to navigate through all night was when the two leaders got together, I think in the middle of 1 and 2, and before the last caution, and I quick jerked up high, and I thought I was going to come off turn 2 with the lead, and then it seems like they straightened it out, and I got back in line, and that was really you just expect at places like this to get a 2x from checking up to miss a wreck or ignoring somebody trying to miss a wreck, not necessarily from racing, just trying to navigate through sketchy situations. But I mean, like I said, 0x, that's more than I expected to come out with.
No, great run tonight. Looking forward to seeing what you can pull off at the bull ring, which similar enough. It's a very short track. And
if I can pull off a 0x there next week, I better just go buy some lottery tickets because.
Yes, sir.
But great run from you tonight. We'll see what next week holds for you, and hopefully it's 0x.
I appreciate it, man. Let me just shout out real quick. I really just got to say thanks to J&G Hardwood Flooring and 5 Star Realty Group. They've been with us. Both those organizations have been with us from the start. This is season 5, and it's taken a lot of sacrifice to keep this deal going with the whole admin team, all the drivers that come out. Man, we have a good group here, man. I'm so pumped every time I see just good hard racing and with respect. Of course, Kelly's Custom Engraving, they do all our plaque races, all our trophies. They're great to us. RC2 Race Promotions, Nelms Racing, Esport Weekly, Sim Racer Hub, Track Time Entertainment, and of course Ghostfire Media. You guys for coming out and taking your time out to show the world what we do. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you. It's great to be able to sit here and commentate on a great production out on track, and honestly,
we just hope that you guys enjoy it as much as we enjoy it.
I would hope it comes through in my voice every Monday.
I appreciate it, man.
No less, but thank you, sir. We'll see. Hopefully get to chat with you come next week at the bull ring.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see you there. Appreciate it, guys.
All right. Thank you, sir.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right. And that is going to do it from us at Ghostfire Media tonight. Make sure catch us on Wednesday, where we will have Nick and Randy up in the booth. And I can never remember. That is the Sim 500 League. And that broadcast starts also at, a little bit before 9 o'clock. And soon enough, we are going to be swinging back into the AOLL. And I'm looking forward to that one coming back. But I do believe that is going to do it from us here at Ghostfire Media tonight. Any last words, Adam?
I know you guys have a wonderful night and a great start to your week here by watching us here at Ghostfire Media. We're a great way to kick off your Monday nights, and hopefully you guys have a good rest of the week.
All right, I think that's the best way to end it, so have yourselves a good evening.
Thank you for watching iRacing on the Ghostfire Media Network.